Welcome back to Dustin Elysian Tale.
Hi.
So, final episode of the game. Before we do the last of the backtracking, I'm just gonna show this off. Do you remember the sanctuary?
Yeah, I remember it.
Yep. This is the place where all of our friends gather after we collect them. Yeah. And when you collect the two Hyperduck characters, they start this DJ show, and you actually get some music in the background.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
And the music is really cool.
Yeah.
But we are still missing one friend.
Okay.
But we are going to collect him in this episode, so don't worry about that. I just felt I had to show that off, because I think it's a very nice little touch. So, back to the caverns, and talk to Bopo, and let's give him the snow.
Dust, you did it! You brought snow!
I know how much it means to you, Bopo.
Well, I don't have much to offer. Aside from this funny rock, it don't seem to do anything down here in Mudpot, but it looks pretty neat. Here, it's all yours.
Thanks, Bopo.
So, I'm guessing you know what to do with the stone?
Oh yeah.
We had our moment together, me and Pa. Taking a walk through the snow, building a fort, watching all those flakes fall from the sky. I know none of it were real, but I'll always have this memory now, thanks to you. I've just gotta be strong now, for Mama. Thanks so much, Dust, for everything.
No, I'm not crying.
A very touching moment, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as I've said earlier, this is part of the reason why I think this game is so good. Is because it has a lot of heart and soul, I feel. Like it has a lot of those moments that are not really necessary, but they're there anyway.
Yeah. And
this is the room I was talking about. This room, you're only gonna get access to the entire room if you have every resonance gem in the game. And the last one we get was the rainbow resonance gem. That was the only one I hadn't collected yet. And I think people who has played a particular game can probably guess who this is.
oh, is it Bastion, right?
The game is called Bastion, but the character is only called the Kid.
Right.
And this is another little secret. You stand on the finger and jump, and a platform will materialize.
What?
And this is also in Archer's Pass. But just like with the rose, I think there's a note that tells you about it. So there are hints about it.
I feel like you're showing me a whole new game here, because there is so much I have missed.
Yeah.
From just playing the main story.
And there's one more chest up here.
By the way, I was going to ask you this. Oh, look, there's more enemies inside the chest.
Okay, so there are 2 times when that happens.
I was going to ask you this last episode, but we kind of ran out of time.
Yep. What's up?
So, for the viewers that really don't know how we do things here in Rocket, me and Andreas play this place. Sorry, I'm just gonna start over here. Me and Andreas, we kind of in charge of one let's play each. So this was Andreas and this was Andreas' idea, and Mana was my suggestion. So since we're done with Dust Zone, what is your what's your next Let's Play that you want to play?
Oh yeah, you're asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
I don't know, actually, if I'm being perfectly honest. I mean, I do have some suggestions, but I am gonna take that with you later.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, I do have some thoughts about it. But anyway, I'm just gonna say this. Right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grind for the best armor and my favorite neck. The best way of doing this is to equip, craft or buy 2 wedding rings, because by doing that you will max out your luck stat. And your luck stat determines how your chance of, you know, getting drops from enemies. But I don't really feel like making you guys watch me grind endlessly for this armor and pendant, because this actually took a while. So, editor, make this part a little bit more interesting. Thank you so much for that, and welcome back, guys. And there it is, the robe of the Mithraren.
Ooh, that looks good.
Yep, and look at the price.
Oh.
And the Battlemaster's pendant.
Wow, that's good.
Yep, and look at all the dog tags we need.
Ooh, right.
Do you see now why I told you to sell the dog tag as soon as you can?
Yeah, I understand now.
Yeah.
Holy.
So yeah, depending on what you want, defense or attack, either pendant of wisdom or look at all those materials, holy shit. And so either the pendant of wisdom or the Battlemaster's pendant. It really depends on what you want. For me, I want to go 100% offense, because you get more than enough defense from all of your other items.
Well, usually the best defense is a good offense.
So I've heard. But if you look at this, look at Fidget's attack when we change to these foul rings. That's 1.
Holy shit.
And that's 2.
Holy.
And you wanna know what's funny?
Yeah.
I grinded for so long. Wait just a second. Looks like I want to show off the items one last time. But if you look at this, I actually grinded for these items for so long that my attack and Fidget is completely maxed out.
Oh.
I can't get stronger. This is the peak.
Wow.
So what you're seeing right there is Dust's and Fidget's max attack. But as you can see, we are at 116%, and I said 117. There's actually one last thing we need to do, and I'm actually glad that I completely forgot about this. Because after you save Moska's girlfriend, they return to Aurora, and you can actually interact with Moska one last time, and he actually has a very minor but admittedly very charming quest for us. So let's talk to him and see what he says.
Dust, I owe you so much. I can't believe what Sarahi has been through. Without your help, well, I just don't want to think about it.
Is she going to be alright?
Yeah, I'm taking care of her. She's still pretty shaken. She lost a lot of friends. Hey, I know this might sound a little weird, but could I get your autograph?
Wait, what?
Well, it's just, after everything you've done for us, for this village, for everyone, really, I'd really like something to remember a true hero by.
I honestly don't feel like too much of a hero.
Oh, come on. Don't be such a downer. Hey, I'll sign it too. Every hero needs a sidekick.
Yes, usually for comic relief.
Hey!
Oh, darn it. I don't have any paper on me. Could you grab some from the shop? here's some money. I'd go get it myself, but I'm a sort of blacklisted. How was I supposed to know those displays would fall over so easily?
Don't worry, I'll go get your paper for you.
That's the quest.
Yep. Or
All
almost.
right, Mosca. This feels a bit strange, but here we go. What do you want your autograph to say?
How about to Mosca, my greatest fan?
All right, there you go.
Your friend can sign it
What?
too.
What's with that animation?
I don't know.
What is that? A paw print?
What? That's how we sign our names. See, it says right there. Fidget.
Well, great. This is great. You two
I
are
have enormous
just
power.
good luck out there. And thanks again for saving Sarahi. I'll never forget it.
A nice little thing to end on, I feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is everything.
We
Absolutely everything. 117%. 100% game completed.
I still feel it's
At 11 hours and 10 minutes.
I still feel it's pretty weird to have 17 as 100%ed the game.
The reason why it's 117 is because it's or at least from what I've heard, it's supposed to be a reference to Halo, the main character, Master Chief, because his name is John 117.
Ah, I see.
And we are back at the Everdawn Basin, confronting, finally, General Gaius after all these episodes.
After much sidetracking.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be honest, it feels like the writer kind of shat the bed right here.
What do you mean?
Because at this moment, like, Dust is starting to, like, I don't know what he's doing, like, he's doubting himself, before, when we were at the old Moonblood camp up in the mountains, both Fidget and Dust established that it doesn't really matter if Dust has Jin and Cassius' soul inside of him, because Dust is Dust, he's not someone else, he is his own person. But now, all of a sudden, he makes a 180 and gets very confused, and even Fidget starts to say that, no, you're not Cassius, you're Jin, even though she said before that, no, you're neither one of those people.
Yeah, that's true actually. That's
so
that's kinda weird.
Because yeah, and even as when the cutscene starts later, Dust you know, makes this whole speech about, no, I'm neither Jin nor Cassius, I am me, a being of justice and honor. But like, you had this revelation before. Like, why are we going through this again? So yeah, this last part is weird.
That doesn't matter!
Why do you keep saying that?
Because you're not just Cassius! Jin didn't kill those people. Jin saved Aurora and Mudpot Village. Jin stopped Fuse, saved Lady Tethys, and now he's the only thing standing against General
No,
Gaius.
Dust stopped Fuse and
Yeah.
did everything like that.
Yeah.
But Jin...
So this is what I meant about before, that it's really weird how they bring up this plot point about Dust fighting the influence of Jin and Cassius inside of him, but we haven't really
it's an
seen that.
anime.
Yeah.
Constantly reliving that fateful day. Forever in battle, forever at odds. But as long as I live,
So yeah, other than that, this last part is pretty cool, but it is weird to have this revelation a second time.
Yeah. Maybe the story was more complex, but due to budget reason, they have to simplify it a bit. Maybe I don't know.
I'm
just
think
making a wild guess.
I think it's more a time issue, or they were
Yeah.
just thinking at this part.
Yeah. Still a good game.
Yeah. I will say this, and I have said this earlier, that Cassius is a very impressive villain, because he's not this muhaha kind of bad guy. Because even as, you know, we are fighting him, he desperately try to convince us, like, he really wants Cassius back. which makes him very human and very relatable. Because even as we are fighting to the death, he really does everything he can to convince us or reach Cassius.
You cannot win, Cassius. You never could beat me.
Stop calling me Cassius!
There was a time when you stood by my side. We were allies once.
Like, he doesn't seem like a bad guy. He's just another person who wants his friend back.
Your blade.
Yeah.
Drop it.
You never could scare me either, Cassius. Very well.
But
I mean, look at this. He even says, "Let's fight to the death." But then, when we get to the second part, he tries once more to reason with us.
yeah.
By the way, this fight is going very fast because I think I overdid it.
Don't you remember anything,
See?
Cassius?
He's still trying to convince us.
Yeah.
Why would you draw your blade against me?
So yeah, Gaius is a bad guy, no doubt about it, because he has done very horrible things. But he's the good kind of bad guy that believes in his cause. Like, he's misguided. That's what he is.
Remember your friends?
Like, every bad guy is the hero of his own story. Like, no one thinks of themselves as the bad guy.
No, because then you would be the bad guy.
Yeah, but that's just not how normal people think. Is the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, do you see how fast his health bar goes down?
Yeah.
And look at me, I have over 3,000 health. And that's it.
That's it.
Yep. Fidget, please stop. He's down. You're hurting him. Stop.
What?
Fidget.
Fidget, you're killing me now as well.
Yeah.
You're not Cassius.
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are. But Cassius is gone, as is the world we once loved. Cherish it.
Like, even in this part,
Yeah.
he doesn't. He even to the very end, he believed in his cause, and he was ready to die for it. So yeah, such a great villain.
That's it. There, I see him.
Too bad we don't see much of it.
Yeah, but I think that was necessary, honestly.
Fidget, get out. Go.
Not without you. Come on, Dust. Get off. We did everything right, Dust. Everything we were supposed to do.
And sometimes that's not enough, Fidget. When the life threat calls. Fidget. Thank you.
Goodbye, Dust. Dust.
Through the actions of our Sen Mithrarin Dust, the Moonblood race is finally free. We will never forget his sacrifice, or the deeds that saved our fairy world. We shall always remember what happened here. Dust's sacrifice will allow the Moonblood race to rise again, to rebuild our glorious civilization, and live peacefully among the races of this world. Though it may appear that Dust has fallen here today, a force of good is not so easily extinguished. Sen Mithrarin was born of dust, a current from the winds of change, a harbinger of storms yet to come.
Dust.
and that, ladies and gentlemen, was Dust: An Elysian Tale.
Still a great game.
Yeah, it really is. It's it really feels great to, you know, as a player, to have a developer pour his heart and soul into a video game, and then we as the player get to reap the benefits. But talking about a possible sequel, I will say that part of me kinda wish that Dust doesn't return in the sequel, just because then his sacrifice at the end of this game would be very underwhelming.
Yeah,
That's sort of the problem about these death scenes, you know, when you say that a character sacrificed himself to, you know, improve the lives of other people. And I think I think both me and Alex, you know, deep down we want Dust to live and survive, but if he were to come back, then it wouldn't really be much of a sacrifice.
Yeah, that's a problem. What you want and what should really happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking of A Way Out that we played yesterday.
Yeah.
The ending wouldn't be the same if both characters would have. Sorry, this is also a spoiler if you haven't played it. But one of the guys needs to die, and the other gets to live on with his family.
Yeah, it's a very similar case with A Way Out, that I'm not really sure if Dust really needed to die here. I mean, especially, I mean, if they plan to resurrect Dust in the next game, then I really don't feel that they needed to kill him off, and especially the way with the ending where you see this cloud of dust in the same color as Dust,
Dusted away.
Flying away with aura. You know, it pretty much implies that, you know, Dust is still alive, or at very least he will be very soon. So I don't know. I mean, it is emotional. God damn, it's emotional. I cry at I get a bit teary-eyed every time I get to this ending, because it is very powerful, both with the visuals and the music and all that. But yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
But it is one of those things, you know, when you kill off a character, you really need to make sure that it means something.
Yeah.
And if you fail with that, then that could have grave consequences.
Yeah, you can't fail with style when you're killing off a character. Otherwise, it's just stupid.
Yeah, and especially if you bring a character back from the dead, you really need to justify it in a good way, or else it's going to feel very unsatisfying.
Yeah.
So
hopefully they can manage to get Dust back in a respectful way, but we just have to wait and see.
Yeah. And I still stick to my theory that if a sequel is coming, I think the main bad guy of the next game is going to be the king that Gaius and Cassius served, because they kind of forget about that in when the Elder has his speech. You know, he says that yes, General Gaius' campaign is over, but the king is still out there.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the bad guy for the next game.
We just have to wait and see.
Yeah. But until then, thank you guys so much for joining us on this commentary, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye.